Hello and welcome to the new Tableau dashboard tutorial. And in this tutorial, I want to show you how you can create this amazing Tableau dashboard, which was initially created by Pradeep. So Pradeep is one of the Tableau Zen Master, I believe what they say, or the Tableau expert, where he has amazing collection of dashboards. As you can see, this one, right? So if you see, this is where he has creatively used the area chart and a lot of other charts, and very creatively used the icons and all these visualization together. And the titles, if you see, are very clear. The dashboard title going with the chart and the color theme. So everywhere you will see follows the color theme. So this is a business dashboard from sample superstore dashboard. It is a voted dashboard. That means there are thousands of people who have voted it, and it is the 10 most favorited visits. That means many people across the globe have favorited it as one of the best dashboard. And if you see, 22,023 people, sorry, 2,223 is basically the count of favorite, right? And the number of people who have viewed it is 146,000. Okay. So this was published in October 2019. So the link for this dashboard is present in the description, right? And what I want to show you is how you can create this dashboard step by step. So I thought this can be something really useful for you to build how you can create professional looking dashboard, as well as similar type of dashboard, let's say on a different data set. If you want to create just for your data analyst portfolio or a scenario like this, to showcase to your user, then you can create it, right? So I will show you step by step how you can do that and create this dashboard. So while exploring this dashboard, I see that Pradeep has definitely used a lot of calculations and complex calculations. However, in my when I tried to recreate it, I tried to use inbuilt functionality. Maybe at that time functionality was not there, but I could find the functionality with some of these functionality in the current version so that we can easily do it. So wherever I could find a simple solution, I am trying to give you. And that's the way we were going to create this dashboard. So just a quick overview: you have area chart with the title, then you have the ways by which you can download as a PDF or as image, and it has a small icon of showing results for the period. The year icon, if you see, the region, sales by region, which is over here. If you see behind this, you have a map. So that's a very creative way of using it. And then central, east, south, and west, they are YOY. That means versus 2021. And then this is the area chart showing you the minimum and maximum, right? And then the chart, map chart, which is basically showing you the information of each of the state and the sales. Down below, the YOY for each of the state or top 4 states. So we will look at that. Same way, you have the bar chart over here, which is for technology, the YOY, and then the bar chart. So that's, I think, one of the innovative way of using the real estate of the dashboard, where you just don't show the bar, which is a default option, but you also show the YOY information. So saying that $836,000 sale has happened this year, but is it good or bad compared to last year? Well, here is your answer, right? And that is why what I really liked about this dashboard. And then you have the sales trend by category, where he's highlighting the highest sale and the lowest sale, right? And then a heat map sort of a chart where you have the product subcategories, and this is the trend by the year or the month. And then the same way you have these bar chart indicating the sales for each of the category in a sorted fashion. Finally, what you have is the sales by segment, again following the same scenario, where you have the categories, the YOY, and then the chart, right? And then over here, top 10 manufacturers by sales. So that's basically what's going on in this dashboard. A lot that is going on, and it will going to take at least an hour or so to create a dashboard. So when I initially did it, I was decoding it and creating all these calculations. It took me close to 3 to 4 hours to decode it. Hopefully, when I will show you the final output, but not all of those decoding, so that you can learn all of this in 1 hour. So that is something we will go through in this tutorial. And if you have any dashboard you think is very innovative and you would like my help to recreate it, you can put it in a comments, and I will take a look at it and try to create it for you. So with that, let's go ahead and do it. So first thing first, I want to show you is, if you go to this dashboard using the link which is present in description, you always have the option of downloading the dashboard. If you see, you can click on download, and then the download icon will appear, which will basically tell you want to download the PDF, you want to download the image or workbook, what do you want to download. So over here, let me just try to click it again, or maybe let me reload it. Maybe it's because I opened it a day or two back and the icon is not coming. But this is basically the way you can go and download. Yeah, there you go. Tableau workbook, right? You have the option of PowerPoint, PDF, cross-tab, data, and image. So Tableau workbook is what you can download. You can open it in a Tableau public. So Tableau public, as you know, is a free tool for this. And also, if you don't know anything about Tableau and wants to learn it from scratch, then you can go to description where I have the Tableau tutorial completely from scratch. Okay. With that, let's go ahead how you can create this dashboard step by step. All right, so here I am in a new Tableau public workbook, and first thing first is we need to connect to data. If it is not coming like this, then it is a possibility that for you it is coming like this, right? And as you can see, earlier I was working on this and decoding this work and some other thing. So the data set is basically the superstore data set. Usually it is coming in the folder of what do you call Tableau workbook. So let me just click on Microsoft Excel, and in the document, right, in the document where I have my Tableau repository, generally that's where you will see it. You have the data sources, right, and that's where you will find the 2021.2. I think that's the version probably that I'm using, and I have the sample superstore.xls. Okay, so that is something you will be having if you have installed it for sure. And if you don't, then I have given the link in the description that you can utilize and get it. Okay, so once it is coming, what do we need is the order. So I'll just drag it over here. So what it has is basically a very simple data set where you have a superstore, let's say, and you are selling a lot of products. So that's what it is given here: the order ID, the order date, the ship date, and if you see the icon indicates over here is the calendar icon ABC, that means text, hash indicates the number. So if you see, a lot of columns are here for us to work with. And finally what you have is, in the end, is you have sales, quantity, discount, and profit, right? Once you have reviewed every number, let's say for example over here, if I show you the postal code is a globe icon, which is the which basically says that it is the location. It is the state is location, city is location, country is location, right? So all of this is, if you have reviewed everything, fine. If you want to change anything, then you can come and click on this and change it from here, right? Okay, so looks good, and Tableau recognized this data set, good for beginners, right? So what we can do is we can start creating the dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard was something which looks like this. So first thing first, what we have is the area chart at the top. So what I'll do is I will come here and choose the order date at the top. Okay, and let me choose the quarter. So you have two options. One is continuous date and the quarter date, right? So I'm choosing the continuous one. If you choose the quarter, then you will come here. If you don't know the difference, then I highly recommend you watch my basics tutorial, for which again the link is present in description. And by any chance, if I forget to put it over there, then please you can highlight it in a comment, or you can watch or look at my previous video where, you know, I think 3-hour long tutorial is present where I have defined this. Okay, so we have quarter, and what do we need is sales. So we will drag it over here. If you see, this is the default chart which comes. I can go and change this to an area chart, right? So looks like this is not the chart, so I'll change it to the month. I'll come over here and change it to the month, and now somehow similar chart, if you see over here, or maybe it's a week, if you know there is a, no, probably not the week. I think month is good because there is like too much of a variation over here. Okay, so you have this. Now the only thing is the color, right? And these information about all of these things about the axis, y-axis, the sheet title. So you can right click and hide the title, right? You can right click and uncheck the show header. You can right click and uncheck the show header, right? Everything is gone. You can right click, come to format, and these lines, these grid lines are coming, right? So you'll come over here in the rows, grid lines. Why rows? Because this is like a row 1, row 2, row 3. So that is why I'm saying under the rows, these lines, under the rows, none. For a beginner, slightly confusing. It took me as well some time to clearly understand, but practice only will take you there. Okay. So now if you see the clean image, now finally what do we have is the color. If you see, I have chosen these colors, but I can go in more colors and show you that in Apple over here we have these couple of colors. So what I'm using is the system teal color, or maybe mint color is, I think, what we can use. So we have these couple of options that we can use. I have this option, I think this, and I can give you the color codes. I think I like this one, right? And if you want to have exactly this one, so you can go and over here the color code, I'll try to give you the color code if it ever comes. Okay, anyways, if it is like it is not coming for you and you want to have the same color, right, which is there in the dashboard, what you can always choose is the color picker, right? Let's say nothing is working out, so you have the option of this, and then you can go to any of the screen and choose the color, like I am doing it over here. So I can go to the dashboard, which is here, and I can choose this color. Okay, so I'll click this and the same color will come here, and I'll click OK. So if you see, it picks up that same color. So if I click on the more color, you know, somehow it has adjusted all of these as per. So it used to give me the RGB color. Yeah, there you go, hex code. This is the hex code 64B5C2. Okay, 64B5C2. So you can choose this color and keep it somewhere where, so that you can apply it again and again. Okay, so we will say area title. I just double clicked over there and I've chosen the area title. So what I'll do is I will duplicate this so that I will try to avoid most of the formatting like colors and everything, right? So the next thing, what do we have is basically, if you see, we can basically create this filter icons, right? These are the other icons, which is basically nothing but the buttons, right? So we have these icons. So what we can do is we can double click again over here and we can say the ear filter, right? So this is very straightforward, as you can see. So one thing what I'll do is I will come and click on the ear. I'll remove the sales, right? And I will choose the shape, move the ear on the label, and make it the entire view, right? Entire view is fine. So we have ear. I'll just change this to, so we have here and I need to expand this. So what I need to do is bring here and put it on column. So that way, if you see, it is now coming. These are the small things, you know, usually for beginners, it becomes a little challenging. So I'll uncheck the show header because I don't want to show it. These 2018 is coming. It should come inside this. So label, alignment, center, right? And then what we can do is we can change the shape. You know, we have the number of shapes. We can go in more shapes. You can choose the shapes, whatever you like, right? And these shapes, where are these? These shapes are where you have basically, you know, you can create it in a PowerPoint and all, right? And bring it over here. So what I'll do is, for now, I will going to choose this apply. Okay. So this is the color which has been applied, and I can reduce the size. If you see, this much is fine, right? The only thing is it is a square. However, in this case, you have the expanded version. So you always have the option of creating it using the PowerPoint. And if you don't know, let me show you in a very quick 1 minute. So here I have the blank presentation. I'll come over here in the shapes, right? I choose this shape and I create a shape like this. Okay. And since I'm creating this shape, I will just keep it the way it was over there. Maybe the little bit lighter gray, right? And same border color. Or I can simply say I don't need any outline, so it looks like a soft one, right? I can increase this size. Okay, I will right click and save as picture, and in the downloads I will choose this as button, save. Okay, I'll come to my Tableau. So in this we have shape, and let me just see how I saved it. I will right click again, save picture. It should be PNG format, so .png. This is just fine. Now I can come over here and I have documents. First thing first, I will right click, copy, go to documentation, and in this documentation, if you see, you have couple of icons, right? So based on what is the version that we are having. So I have two versions, if you see 2021.2 and 23. So if I check my version over here, Tableau, about Tableau public, 2023.2.2 is my version, right? So I just need to make sure that I put it in a right place. So my Tableau repository, in the my Tableau repository, I think what do we have is the shapes, right? And I have, if you see, custom folder created like KPI and all of that. So maybe in KPI, what I'll do is right click and paste item. So there is your button. Okay. And now once it is pasted over there, in the shape, more shape, KPI, right? What was that? KPI, reload shape. As soon as I do reload, this button is coming, and I click apply. Okay, and there you go. You have the shapes, which you can increase it by size. So as you can see, the process is quite straightforward. Well, if not straightforward, but it is not very tricky as well. The only thing is you need to go to the Tableau folder and put this under shapes folder, in any of the folder, arrow bars or wherever, or you can create your own custom folder like I did, right? And then you can create it. So that way it becomes very easy for you to manage it, because then it comes automatically over here in shapes. You need to just make sure the shape is also selected here. Okay, now the buttons are present, right? We can click over here, and whenever we click, what do we need is basically we need this range. If you see, we need this range showing result for, and then we can show this output. Okay, so coming back over here, and we will say filter output, right? And we will going to create the range over here, like when nothing is selected, then it should say 2018 to 2021, and when something is selected, then you need to get that range. Okay, so let's go to filter output, and here we need to create a calculated field which will basically say that if we have made any selection, right, then based on that selection show the output, otherwise show the entire range information. So we will say year filter output, right, the relevant name, and we are saying if year of order date. First of all, we need to pick this order date, right? And the way you can do it within Tableau is when you will click on this, it basically gives you the option of or output as count, that this is 1, or if you have made 2 selection, then 2. So the way we are doing this is we are saying count D year order date, right, is equals to, and this is where we need to identify that what is this. So what we are basically saying this, if someone has clicked on any of those button or the shape, then its count will be 1, right? If you know the Tableau, or if you have worked with it, that's the expression that we need to basically write to identify something has been selected from those shape. Okay, sorry, then year order date, right? So else, and this is not yet complete, but I will just show you how you will complete it. Else we will say min of year of order date, that means the minimum range, plus what I'm doing is concatenation of two basically numbers, the minimum and maximum, and we will say max of year order date, right? So what we are saying is something is selected, and in that case the count will become 1. We will say that year order date, otherwise we will say minimum year order date, that means the minimum date, or 2018, from 2018 till maximum, which is 2022, I believe that's the one. So else this, and we will say end, right? And what I'll do is I will bring this down. So yes, we know that it is giving us error and we need to correct it. So first thing first, what it is saying is 2 error. You cannot add integer and string values, cannot mix aggregate and non-aggregate. It is saying non-aggregate because we are using the aggregate function count D over here, and we are not basically not providing any count function anywhere else. So the way we can change this is by putting an attr, which converts it into an attribute, right? And that way at least one error is gone, if you see. But the only another thing is you can't add integer and string value. Why? Because you have this integer value and you have this string value, right? So the way we can do that is we can wrap the year under the str function and close it, right? So once we do that, it again gives an expected type string found integer result type from if expression. Over here it is basically saying that it is expecting it to be a string, this minimum and maximum, but however what it is basically number, right? So simply what I will do is I will wrap it around the str function, which will force it to convert into a string. Okay, and I'll close it over here, and now the calculation is valid. So now you see I did not want to show you this entire calculation, but wanted to build with you like why we are using a particular function if we are using it. Okay, click OK. Let's see the output and entire view 2018 to 2021, because nothing is selected. Let me just try and select this 2018 still it is showing. So what do we need to do is a bit of an operation. The filter action is something what we need to set in a dashboard, and then it will start working fine. Okay, but at least you can see that this is coming out and giving you the desired output, right? Okay, so we have year filter, we have filter output, and then after that, so this much we have created. Again, these are all icons and these are all buttons that we can work with. So icon, you already know now, as many icons as you want, you can bring it, and you can also bring these button, which I will show you in dashboard because it is a dashboard component. Okay, the next thing is working with this visual. You have three things. You have this map, you have this YOY, and you have this area, and the fourth thing is minimum and maximum value, right? Okay, once we will build this, then couple of other charts will be very easy, like this chart, because same YOY is here, same minimum and maximum is here. Same way this chart will become easy, and then we can quickly do all of this, and even this chart will be easy, right? So let's build this, and then rest of the building other charts will become a piece of cake, because most of the heavy lifting we will be doing for this particular section, that we can replicate for rest of the section. And how we can do that is also which I'll show you. All right, so first thing first, let's create the region map. So if you remember, there were regions, and region is present here, right? And region is also over here onto the text, right? And we basically need, so this is right now as a text. So if I go and choose the map, it won't actually do anything. So if I make it for entire view, it just produces circle but nothing else. So we need to convert it into the location like this one. And region is based on what? State, right? So multiple states are contributing to the region. So what we do is we click on this drop down arrow over here, and we say geographic role. And in the geographic role, we go to create from, and we say state. As soon as we do that, you can see that over here, what do we have is basically the different regions: central, east, south, and west. That's a small trick in case region is not coming to you properly. And let's say in a similar scenario where a group is present based on a given field, like in this case state, then how you can convert a text field into a geographic role, right? Then on to the label, what I'll do is I will make it center over here, and color we can choose little bit lighter maybe, and border, let's not choose any border, and then it will be relatively better. And then we don't need this, so what we'll do, we will go ahead and uncheck the header. We will right click, hide the title. Also there is this this basically line over here and here. So in this row divider, we will say none, and this is gone, right? So now what do we have is our map. If I go to here, so this is basically the map, but what it also has is basically this sales information, right? So that is also we will going to produce by having the sales over here on the label. So we have sales here, and then to format it, we will format, go here to currency, maybe 1 decimal, and display unit in 1000, 501.2K, and I think yep, that's what you have it over here, right? So we have created one. So we have the region map, right? And after that, what do we have is this value. So this is based on the particular year 2021, right? And so right now nothing is selected. So so by default it is basically 2022. If I click on that 2022, everything will be changed 2022, but let's select 2021. Okay, as soon as we select 2021, it changes the comparison to 2020, right? So reason, because YOY is always based on the comparison between the current year, that means the currently selected year, and the previous year. So same way, if I go ahead and select the 2020, what you will observe that it will change to 2019, right? So this is also a small functionality that we have to develop. So for that, what do we need to do is we need to create a parameter. So over here we have the option of creating a parameter, and a parameter is simply like p.year. We are saying that it needs to be year, so we are choosing it integer, and this needs to be list, right? So what do we have is basically for us, if I am not wrong, we have 2020, then we have 2021 in our data set, and I can double check after creating it, 2022, and maybe 2023, 2023. Okay, all right, so we have this. I can double check how many years we have. Year filter 18, 19, 20, 21, right? So we will just correct this. So come here and parameter and edit 2018, right? So I need to remove this, select this, remove this. So what do we have is 2018 and 2019, right? Not an issue. We'll click OK, and this is now created. So now we have the parameter. So this parameter will basically allow us to do the dynamic calculation, and based on this dynamic behavior, we can set the dynamic YOY based on the selection. So let's go ahead and create the calculated field, and we will say YOY, and I will say call it value. So what do we need is basically we need to say if year of order date is equals to the selected year, right? P dot year, then sales, end. Okay, and then we just need to wrap this entire thing under sum, because we need a sum of sales, right? So I will just copy this, Control C. I will say divide. So YOY formula is current year minus previous year divided by previous year, right? So current year minus, now we need to set the calculation for previous year. So I just copied this and pasted over here, and here we will do the arrangement as that it needs to take the previous year. So we will simply say P here minus 1. Now you remember, you can see that why we took the integer, because we can do this manipulation. So once we have this, we can wrap everything around this. We will say divide by, Control V, divide by the last year, so minus 1. So what we are saying, take the current year sum, subtract it from the last year sum, and then divide it by the last year sum will give us the YOY number. So we will select this, and we will going to bring the region over here, and we will bring the text over here. So what do we get is basically this, and we need to format it to percentage, and maybe 1 decimal is fine. Okay, so now if you see, if I show you show parameter, so right now 2020 is selected. If I choose 2021, it is changing. If I select 2019, then it is changing. But for 2018, it will show nothing, because prior to 2018 there is nothing, right? So that's how we can choose the value. So we have this. Another thing is, let me just bring it to entire view, right? Text, then I will just make it center over here. So these are basically the different region. We don't need the region, so I will just uncheck this show header, right? We don't need this. Right click, hide the title. So we have this. The another thing is the color coding based on whether it's a negative or a positive value. So we can simply say over here, right click, create calculated field YOY color, and we will say if YOY value is greater than 0, right? So it's basically negative or positive, right? That's the behavior we need. So we will say if then this will be positive, so P, else if YOY value is less than 0, that means a negative, then negative, else NC, no change, right? And okay, so we'll click OK over here, and we will move color over here, and you will see the color is this. We will go and inside this, negative, red, positive, green, apply, OK. And then for the text, we will just double click and make it bold, right? Apply. So now it is bold. Can we get, okay, we need also the comparison, if you remember. So we need versus 2019, right? So that is also something what we need over here, and we need to remove this formatting as well. So one way I can try is putting it on detail, and we will say P year -1, and on the text, then let me try to bring it here. Okay, so this is creating some issue, because what I was hoping that it will basically give us this value. So click OK. And one more thing I will just try to change is I will move it onto the text. Okay, so now if you see, this is coming, and we will say versus previous year, right? And I think the color we can keep it this, apply. But the only problem what I see is that the color coding is changing. So if you feel like this is how you want entire color, then you can change it. But if you need something like this, where this is neutral, however the impact is only here, and also if you see this down arrow, right? So we will bring this as well. So the way we can do that is, let's remove it from here, and that's where we need to use the custom field min 0, and then one more min 0, sum 0, whatever you want, you can choose it, not an issue at all. Okay, so from the second one, we will going to remove this, right? And we will try to bring this to text, and we will say -1. I just double clicked and said -1, and then I will just move it down over here, apply, okay, and we will change the color to a little bit lighter, which is this, right? And then what do we do is say dual axis, okay. And then what do we do is we format. Within the format, we say none, over here. Okay, everything, let's set it to none, and over here 0 line, we don't need 0 line. Let's just remove every line, column grid line removed, right? Okay, and let's change this to only text, and let's change this to only text. Now it's about this one. Let's bring it down one more by hitting enter, apply, yeah, maybe one more, versus 2020, or we can say versus over here, right? Apply. What if I go one more step up? Yep, that's perfect. And I'll click OK. And what I'll do is from here, text, we will remove this thing, right? Apply. Okay. So one more time, I will just hit enter over here, to create some space. Okay, so now you can see this is coming, and then we can right click over here and say uncheck header. We will right click and say uncheck header. Now all of this is here. The only thing is up and down arrow, you don't have it, right? So for that, what do we need is over here, format, right? In the format, what do we have is a percentage, right? And here we need to go to custom, and here we need something. What do we need is the alt code. So if I go over here and show you alt codes, this is the website altcodes.net. This is something help us bring those code, the color, this codes, right? So I'll select this. This has been copied, paste anywhere. So I'll just go and I'll come here and paste it here, Control V, right? Same way, I will go over here again, come here, I'll close this first. I'll copy this, has been copied, right? So what do I do is I come over here and press semicolon, paste it, and then copy this and paste it. Okay, so now you see this is coming, which is very useful way, I believe, to highlight along with the color code. You add more interactivity with this. So now we have completed this part. Where is that? This one, right? Now let's move on to this one, okay, which is the area chart for this. And this, you see, this is the monthly area chart. So creating this region YOY, right, region area. So now what do we do is we need region, right? So we have region, and we need area chart, right? So we will have to take the order date at the top, and we will change this to month. And what do we do is bring the sales. We will change this to an area chart. Okay, so now if you see, this is coming like this. However, the way we are expecting it is to be like this. So it's easy, not an issue. We just, you know, do a little bit of setting. So first thing first is I need it here only. Month need to be here, so that at least I have the months over here. And then from here, detail, I just need to move it to here. So if you see, this is now converting into a proper area chart like we were seeing it over there. Okay, so once we have this, if I go back, this is in the light gray, and you have this highest value and lowest value, right? So first thing first, what we can do is we can make it light gray, right? And then over here we don't have any default option which will basically say the highest or lowest value for each chart. So for that we need to create the highest and lowest calculated fields. Alright, so for that we will first create the max sales, and here we will going to use again the if condition. If sum of sales is equals to window function is something what we will going to use, so that it basically takes this entire window based on the calculation that we will specify, and then identify if it is equals to, at what point it is equals to the maximum sales. So sum of sales, then sum of sales, else null end. Let me just clarify it one more time. Alright, so what we are saying is go and identify the maximum sales in this window, right? And then check whether this sales is equals to this sale. Then only give me this particular sale point, right? That means this one, in this case 34,309. Otherwise, just return null, right? And end. So you can click apply, and I copy this because I will have to also specify the minimum sales. Create calculated field and min sales and paste it window, and I will say min. In this case we are saying go identify the minimum sales and then check if at what point it is equals to, so this sale is equals to minimum sales, then only give me the sales, otherwise give me the null, and click apply and okay, right? Now what do we need is a dual access over here. So interestingly, what I bring over here is this measure values, and I remove everything, this, and this. Okay, I remove everything, but only these 2 points are remaining. Okay, and these 2 points, if you see, this is the point of highest sales. Somewhere it will be the lowest sales over here. So what I'll do is I will change it to a circle, and if you see this circle right over here, this one and this one, and in this case this is the highest sales, this is the lowest sales, this is the highest, this is the lowest, so on and so forth, right? So at least we have identified this. Now we can at least do dual access and basically combine them. So let's go ahead and say dual access, right click, and I will simply say synchronize access, and I think it should synchronize everywhere. Yep. Okay, so we see the point. Now what do we need is the color, right? So for that I will bring measure names onto a color, right? So now you have color, and I'll hide this. So colors are something like dark and this one. So I'll come here onto the color, edit color, max sales is this. Oh no, not this one. Max sales, let me choose this one, and mil sales, let me choose this one, and apply. Right? Okay, good enough. So formatting a little bit, right click, uncheck show header, right click, uncheck show header, and right click, format, over here, sheet, none, none, and none. Okay, over here we don't need any zero line, we don't need any rows, we don't need any columns. Okay, so good enough. We don't need this month of order date, so I double click over here and I select this and remove it, right? And then one more thing, if you would like, we can do is we can reduce this piece. How? We can go into the format, and this is dates, and this is this. We will say MMYY, or we will say MMM. So that way you now have more dates. Okay. All right, right click, hide the title. We don't need this. Right click, hide it, and then we are done with this visualization as well. So this visualization is also done. So once we have done this, can we do it this easily now? Right? So, and then we can do it this also very easily. So let me show you again this one, how we can do it very easily. So this particular chart and YOY, so I will duplicate this. Now this is not region, this is what? Category, product category, right? So what I'll do is I just have to simply bring this on top of this. So I get category, right? And I'll just right click and hide it. Okay, and also I can hide this as well. Now I have hidden this. Once I have done this of this one, the next thing what it was asking is this bar chart. So we have one or the two option. We can try it over here. Another way is we can create one more sheet, right? Or so we have already done that. Let me just try and bring sales over here if it allows. Nope, it does not allow, and it creates an issue. So what I'll do is I will simply go over here and say category, and I need sales, right? And I'll say entire view. I don't need header because I will use the header which was created earlier. header is gone, show header is gone, right click, hide the title, right? The color is this one, and then you have this 162 and the contribution percentage, right? So this is interesting. So now what do we have is, first of all, the color. Let me choose the color, and then we bring the sales over here. We got the sales, but what we'll do is we'll find the contribution percentage by clicking here, going to quick table calculation, percentage of total will give us a percentage of total, right? Format and percentage 1 decimal. Then I will again bring the sum of sales over here, will give me both this one, and I'll format this as well to currency custom, right? And convert it into 1000. Okay, and then I'll go into the label over here. I will make this, because there was this bracket, right? If I remember, yeah, this bracket. So what do we need is a bracket like this. Click apply, right? Select this and maybe a little bit lighter color, click apply. Little bit maybe more lighter, apply, and okay. All right. And then we don't need these column lines, so right click, format these lines, column, grid lines, none, and we are good. So what do we do is we call it category YOY and category bar. Oh, category YOY category YOY and category bar, right? So now, is this easy enough to create? The only challenge is this one, right? How would you create this particular chart? So this one, I have shown it in one of my video called financial dashboard. So first thing first, I want you to replicate it this way. And then what you do is you look at my financial dashboard chart and see how you can produce it, right? Because it's the same functionality what I have shown it over there as well. Okay, now we create this particular chart, which is sales trend by category. All right, so sales trend by category, again highest and lowest sales, so we can utilize the same functionality we did it here. So highest and lowest sales, so category bar trend, right? So first thing first, what do we have is category, then what do we have is sales, and what do we have is this one, right? And we will change it to maybe a bar, right? And we'll change it to month, right? Whatever is easiest enough, we can create it. And then what do we need is basically the measure values, if you remember, right? And we remove everything but keep only minimum and maximum sales, right? So this is maximum sales, this is minimum sales. And color, again, where is that? Measure values. It will be based on the measure names, and edit color. Minimum sales and maximum sales is like this, which is already being taken earlier. And for this, the color, we can keep it, what was the color? Light gray. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, maybe this one, if no, yeah, this one is fine. And then we have to simply click on this dual axis, so it is clearly highlighted, right? Right click, undo, right click, synchronize axis. I was doing synchronize, and then uncheck the show header. We don't need this, so we'll hide it. We don't need this, so we will going to hide this. Right click, format, over here, rows, none, all the lines are gone. Now I'll come here, sheet, row divider, none, column divider, none. So everything is gone. We don't need this. We'll double click here. I'll select this and remove the title. And the same way, like I did it earlier, if you remember, I right click on this axis, format, axis, dates, custom, YY, right? That way it is easy. I will just check if it is present here. Yep, like this. Okay. So now what we have done, we have created this axis. So if you want, you can bring back this axis. Otherwise, you can leave it. So I can say show header, right? And I will right click and uncheck this. And I'll double click and say I don't need sales. And this is gone. So that way I have my final chart. I will right click and hide this. All right. So we have created this, we have created this, we have created this, right? And these charts, top manufacturer, and this one is pretty straightforward. Even if you see, even this chart is quite straightforward. What it has is a sales by state. So let's create the map chart, map state sales map. Okay. So what do we have is state, sales, and this one, right? The color is also based on this, and edit color. I'll just double click and I'll choose the color, which is this mint. Okay, apply. And so okay, and then we will increase the size a little bit, right? So this is this, and then what it has is basically, if you see, filled map as well as these circles. But what do we have is only this one. So first thing first, what I'll do is I will change this to a filled map. So at least first thing is coming, right? That we have the filled map. Then what do we need is a circle, right? So circle is like going on top of this and putting it. All right. So what I'll do is I will simply bring state one more time and I will add it as a layer on over here. So what it gives me now, the circle, right? So we have the state over here, and then so we have state, and the circle is based. I will just choose this color maybe, yeah, and the size will be based on sales. So this is this, and then the color I will just little bit experiment. Border also I will make it border proper so that it is getting identified. Yep. So that's how, you know, the experiment is being done over here, if you see, and then you can choose it. Okay. So the one which has been chosen over there is a little light color. So you can go over there and then I can try and move it towards little bit on the lighter side like this. Click OK, and now it is lighter. So that's how we need to experiment and get this thing done. So this map chart is also done, right? The only thing is it is coming Mexico and some area over here. So what I'll do is I will just say country over here and choose only United States and click OK. And other than that, you can remove these layers. So from the map, you have the different basically layers, background layers. So you have base, you have land cover, you have country, region, border, country, region, name, state, province, name is also gone, borders are also gone. So now finally what you are left with, this one, right? So right click, hide the title, and your map is ready. So once we have map that we have created it over here, what we need is these top 4 states by sales and their YOY, right? So that is something what we need, and this is very easy. So if you see category YOY, right click, duplicate, and we will call it what? State YOY now. So we have created fun once, and now we are using it again. So state YOY. All right, and I will swap this. So if you see, categories are like coming like this, and then you have the YOY number. So one thing that we can do to bring it above here is we go to analysis. In the analysis, we have the table layout and advanced, and this option, show innermost level at bottom of the view. Let's just try and do that. So now the furniture is coming at the top, right? So this setting, basically what it does is show innermost level at bottom of view where there is a vertical axis, and click OK. So you have furniture, office supplies and all, but what do we need is state. So I will replicate this with a state, but what do we need is only top 4 or 5. So I go back, top 4. So I will say filter, top by field, sales, and how many we need? 4. Okay, there you go. California, New York, Texas, Washington. Good enough. And what do we need is basically the sales value. So you have sales and you have YOY. So the same way we will configure. So we will bring sales over here, and we will remove this. And if I go back, yeah, there you go. You have sales, and we don't need verses and all of that. So in this text, or maybe over here, I think it is present here. So I will just bring this up, apply, okay, and I will try to bring this down. Let's see, one more, apply, good enough. Okay, and then right click, format, rows, we don't need any grid lines, so everything is gone. And we don't need this state, so right click, hide labels. So finally what we are left with is these values. Also, I remember in the text alignment, you can keep it at the top, and text alignment, let's see, okay, not an issue, because when we will go into the front end, when we will bring it down or squeeze the sheet, this is how it will start appear. Another thing that you can do is to prevent this is you can bring the state name over here, right? As you can see, click text, Control X, Control V, and make it what, center, apply, okay. But for YOY, we have to bring it down a little bit more. Apply, okay, and now you can say click show header. So everything is then done. Okay, good, very nice, right, up until so far. So if I come here, so we have created this, we have created this one, even this one is created, and finally sales by subcategory. So this is a heat map that has been created, I think if I am not wrong, what is this, monthly, right? And then the sales value. So coming back over here, subcategory heat map. So since this subcategory, order date, we need month, we will move to the month, we will need an entire view, so entire view. And then simply what do we need is the sales over here. So sales is here. Now we will just change it to we have one of the two options. We change it to circle. We also have the option of we have pie. Pies are slightly bigger, so not a challenge over there. And the color, we can change this to, as you would expect, try to change this now. Yeah, somewhat similar to this. System mint color. No, very different. Click OK. So now you have created that. So right click, hide title, right click, hide labels. And do you have this? Yeah, do you have this? So you right click, you can just leave it like this, or you can do it like I have done it. Only thing is, we're double clicking it over here, and I will remove this title and click OK, and then this hide the card. Subcategory heat map and subcategory sales, right? So what I'll do is right click, duplicate, and what I'll do is I will bring the sum of sales here and say bar and sort, right? Bar color, I'll keep it whatever, that the one which we are using, right? So right click, we can hide it or we can check it. Yeah, the numbers are given like this, and if you see this one is also here, this line, right? So how you can bring this line? Right click, check the show header, right click, format. We don't need these lines, which is over here in columns. We don't need this, it's gone. We can bring the label, right? All of that we can do. And then we need a line. So line will come from something called as window max sum of sales. So what it is doing is, in this window, right, it is identifying the maximum sales, which is phones, and then display it on every line. So you see 330007, it is creating 330007 for each line. And then what we can do is over here we can uncheck this bar. I can reduce it to like this. Okay, color I can keep it like this, and then what I can do is I can choose dual axis. Yikes, I don't like it at all. So measure names, I'll just remove the measure name. Okay, and since it is coming on top of this, so what I'll do is I will bring sum of sales over here, and now it has gone down. Okay, so now this thing is coming, right, for each of this. And then there is one more thing which is creating an issue, is I will uncheck the labels and I will remove this. So now at least this much is coming. I will right click and uncheck the show header, right? And then what do we need is basically the sum of sales, so which I will bring it over here. So if you see, the sum of sales is now coming over here, and then yep, there you go. We just need a bit of a formatting, should be good. Format, currency, single digit in 1000, and there you go, right? So now we have created this chart as well. All right, only thing is I am asking you to look at my financial dashboard, financial complaints dashboard, and created this one. We have created this, we have created this. We need to create top 10 manufacturer by sales. Also, these tool tips is something we can create it very easily, which is nothing but we need to create a bar chart, and we can say top sold product, or over here, you know, for each of this tool tip is quite straightforward that you can create. Okay, so let's come back and subcategory. What is that subcategory? Subcategory bar, right? And top manufacturer, right? Menu FAC. Come on. I hope I have written it right. So do we have manufacturers here? No, in my data set I don't have it. So still not an issue. If you run into these type of an issue, not a challenge. You basically experiment this with like product name, right? And you bring the sum of sales, maybe here, sort it, and product name filter top 10 sum of sales, and okay, and then entire view. So no need to worry, we are just replicating the functionality. We are learning the functionality and replicating it. Right click, hide the title, right click, hide labels, and enable it like this. Okay, now interesting thing is if I go here, it has this interesting basically section over here. So how you can create, so these are like small effects. If you don't create it, not an issue, but like this just create and or give a good look and feel to your dashboard. That's the only best part about these basically small tricks. So how you can do that, let's see this. So what I'll do is I will say min 0, and I will bring it here, this one, and I'll change this to a Gantt chart. So now this impact is coming, if you see, and check the label, and I'll say what, dual axis, right? Now this one is Gantt, this one is bar, and we'll right click and say synchronize the axis, and let me, yeah, if you see, now that impact is coming. So right click, added axis, include 0 is one option, but fixed -6420, we can start at 0, right? Or we can start at -10 if we need just, or maybe even -100. We just need to experiment it a little bit, or maybe -500. That way it will shift a little bit, right? 300, let's settle on this. And this one, let's keep it automatic. And right click, show how to hide it, right click, format. And in this format, we don't need these grid lines, so it's gone. Okay. Then this and this. Okay. So sum of sales, measure names, I'll just remove measure names. Okay. And let's go by this. And even for this, I think the measure names are still coming, so I'll just remove this, and we can keep it like this or this, whatever the way we feel like we want to have it. And size, we can increase or decrease it. Let's decrease it a little bit so that impact, we can show the impact. Okay, so this is now present, and we don't need these lines as well. So what we can do is we can format, come over here in the sheet, and you will say row divider none. You don't need column divider none, and then our chart is ready, right? So most of our charts are ready, as you can see. The only thing is this button. If you remember, I showed you in PowerPoint you can create it, so I will highly recommend you go and experiment with it. What I will going to show you is the part that I will configure this part the same way you need to configure this bottom part. Okay, and I will, because it's the same replica of this, just so that you can do the practice, and the video will also be not very long. All right, so we'll come over here, we will click on the manufacturer, we'll click on the dashboard, and we will increase it to what, 1300 to maybe 1500 is what at least what we need, right? So we have this. Now this is one of the best practice which I also show in my trainings, right? And to read the layout. So layout, if you see, we have first section, then the second section, then the third section, then the fourth section, then the fifth section. So this is nothing but vertical, 1, 2, 3. And then within vertical, we have horizontal, 1, 2. So this is horizontal. And we do it with the help of containers. If you want to be easy, and if you are really a beginner, then I also recommend you do it with the floating, but vertical. But when you use the tiled, you have more control and the way you want it. So I will going to use it, the vertical containers, because that's, you know, finally you want to be end up learning the containers and use it effectively. And after that, I'll add blank so that it will keep holding the space for me. And I will say, I have the here, this one, right? So right click, hide the title. I will move up. Now you can see this one is blank. So I can clearly see this is where my space is. This is the benefit of using the blank. Okay. So we have this, and then I will add a text box over here in the middle, and I will say the title. So title is Sample Superstore Sales Performance. So Sample Superstore Sales Performance, right? And this is having one space. If you go and observe that, so same way you can basically add space, like I have done it hundreds of times, so I can do it very easily. And we can make it semi-bold and white, and maybe 26 is good. Yeah, okay. So this one, nothing is coming. The reason for this is I need to change this color to this, or maybe a little lighter, just so that I match with what do I have it above. Okay. All right. Even I have the option of choosing more colors. I can choose the color by picking up from here and click OK. And still, if you see, they are looking divided. So what do I need is I need to come over and layout, right? And in this outer padding, if you see, outer padding is present, and in the outer padding from the bottom, what I can do is first I uncheck this, because I also only need to change the bottom, so I'll say 0. And over here, the outer padding again uncheck. From the top, I say 0. So now you can see they are giving you a look and feel that they are like one object. And then another thing is over here, double clicking and making it center, click OK. And then this one needs to be in alignment with this. So I'll select this, and then from the right padding, I will, if you see, I am increasing and it is coming towards the left hand side, and I will do it until it matches. Yeah, same here from the left. I will just go to do until it matches from the left side. So both left and right side should match to give the look and feel. Okay, good enough, right? So now this one and this one is all gone. Okay, now we have sample superstore like this one. I basically like this dark color for some reason. I can choose this. Let me try and do that. And I don't, okay, opacity is set to this, that's why. Now it is good. Okay, yeah, good enough, perfect. So we have this, and then what we can do is after that we need these icons and showing results for. So what do we need is basically a horizontal container over here. So if I bring it down, if you see, bring it down, and then what do we do is we basically need to add couple of things. We already have this, we already have these, right? And this is also an icon. So we have the ear filter output and we have the ear filter. So ear filter, let's put it here, right click, hide it. And then we also have the ear filter output over here. So now you see when I don't have the blank, it basically gives me a little bit of pain, right? So usually what I do is I just go and add the blank. Now with the blank I can even adjust, where I want to place my objects. If you see, wherever I want I can bring it, right? And then if you see, I can enable this use as a filter, and if I choose 2019, only 2019 is selected. If you remember, I was telling you this, 2018 is selected. And then you can basically come and click it again, and we can basically change this. 2021, it will be changed to 2021. And the value will show 2021. And if I just expand this little bit, right, so I'm just waiting for this bar, and then this one is selected. Okay, so now you got the idea of how to select this. Also, there is a way you can uncheck this, but still you can basically use the dashboard action, which I will tell you later. So this one is 2018 to 2021. We can even add the text, right? Now, by now you must have got the idea. Also, you have the buttons over here. Download, navigation button, right? So this basically creates the impact of this. Where is that? This one, right? Detail table or download image or download PDF, all of that. So let me show you one, and then we can later see in the configuration. So one is detail. We want to go to a particular tab. Then where is that navigation? Over here, right? Let me just add it over here. As you can see, because I have blank, I can easily add it. And then I can move this towards on the here on this side. Okay, so navigation, added button. So navigate to, so here we can choose the detail table if we have created one. And then for example, top manufacturer, let's say I want to choose, and I click apply and okay. So once the dashboard will, or if I choose the option, it goes to this top manufacturers, right? So that's the way, and we can then edit. In the edit, we can choose the background when it is not selected, and we can keep it like a little bit this gray color, apply, and we can give the title, right? Or we can have an image. So in this case, the user has given this image. The only thing is you need to identify these images from, let's say, online, the PDF image, or this one, and choose the image, right? Let me just see if I have any icon that I can. I don't think so I have any icon. Nope. I can go to downloads, my Tableau repository, shapes, right? If you remember. And we have a lot of different things. Ratings. Let's choose this. Apply. Now you can see how it is coming, and you can click OK, And then based on that, you can reduce the size, and then with the blank also you can reduce the size. That is also another way how you can use the blank. So this is one of the way you can basically set the icon, and then once I click on option, it moves to the detail table. Same way, the configuration is being done for your these icons as well, as to how you can download an image or how you can download a PDF. Okay, and once your setting is done, what you can do is you can remove this. So now it will come side by side, or as per your needs. Okay, for now, this now require a little bit of cleaning, but you got the idea of how you can set it. After that, what do we need is this section, right? So this button, I am asking you to create it. Once you have done that, what you need to do is you need to basically bring another, what do you call, horizontal container over here, right? It's all about adding containers, and let me try to add the button. For now, I will just add a navigation button for you. Navigation button number 1, navigation button number 2, right? And let me add a blank object over here. That way I can reduce it or move it till here. And then I can move these guys over here. So navigation is basically creates a challenge with this. Let me try to do it again. And remove this. Again, add the horizontal container. Then add blank. After adding blank, now let me try to add the navigation. Okay. So if I try, I can change. Yeah. So what I did is I just clicked on this, because earlier I think it was unchecking this fixed width, but now I can choose this up until here. I can add one more navigation button, fix, and then choose it to as much long as I want. Also, if I need a space between these two, I can add a blank in between these two, and that way there will be a space between these two objects, right? And I can remove this, and you have navigation 1, navigation 2. Same way in horizontal container, once you will create the button in PowerPoint, you can bring it here. I wanted to show you how you can bring it. Okay, so once you have this, the next point we need to configure is sales by region. So this is again a horizontal container, 1, 2, 3, and then this one is vertical. Within horizontal it is 1 and 2. Okay, so just bear with me, and then we can create it. Very interesting, right? And bit time consuming, however it needs practice. And let me try to bring that up furthermore so that I get a space. This, and even this one, it's just too much space it is taking. Okay, once let's say you have those titles from the PowerPoint to here using the image object, right? You can have navigation button, but better is you choose image. And then what you have is the horizontal container. What I'll use is the blank, so that again, you see, this is somehow a little bit we have to manage, just so that this is all part and parcel of doing or dealing with the horizontal container. Okay, then move it up further. Also, let me show you one more thing. I'll just select this and double click. This is selecting the entire container, and I'll say fix height. Same with this, I will select the entire container, I will say fix height, right? And then it should not behave weird. the way, it has been acting out. Okay, move up, you move down a little bit, my dear friend, right, so that I can work with you. Yep. All right, so we have this, and then what do we need is I already have the container. Fix width and move it up. Right click, edit width. Let's make it what, not 600, maybe 600 should work fine. Right, I'm unchecking that and then trying to do this 600, because what I need is, let's just add one more horizontal container here and be with it. Yep, now you can see it is allowing me. So small tips and tricks you get to know once you spend more and more time with the Tableau. Okay, so what do we need is we have the blank object. Let's just check very quickly. Blank, horizontal, and we have blank. Good. And then what we can do is we need region map over here. Right click, hide, not edit title, hide title. Right click, hide title. Then we have region YOY. Okay. Right click, hide title. Then we have region area. Okay. Then what we can do is we can just create the impact we want. Good. Now you see. And we can right click and uncheck the show header. We can right click and hide the title. So we have created the first one, right? This particular part. Now we need to create this part. And for that we need a vertical container, this and this. So what I'll do is I'll choose vertical container in the end, because I can utilize the blank object for some space till here, right? And in the vertical container, first I will bring the map. Where is the map? Yes, here it is. Okay, and then I bring the YOY over here. Right click, hide title, right click, hide title, and then let's give map little bit this most deserving space. Yeah, now you have it. If you don't want this box, you always have right click option, format, over here, none, column divider, none, and it's gone, right? So now you can see like this, it is coming. And then same way we need to continue to add container and add these boxes, and I'm giving you as an exercise that you complete the rest of the one as an exercise for this particular dashboard. And one last thing I will tell you, which is very important, is about this selection. If you remember, I told you that I will show you the dashboard action. So for this sheet, we will go here in dashboard. Within dashboard menu, you have actions, add action, and then you have the filter action, right? From this dashboard, the sheet we will going to choose is, what is a source sheet from where the filtering will originate is the year filter. This is a sheet name. Based on select, and then every sheet we want to filter, uncheck the year one, year filter, because you don't want to filter this one. Clearing the selection will show all values. Click OK. Click OK. Now select 2019, right? Click anywhere outside to clear the selection. 2018. Click anywhere outside to clear the selection, right? So that way you can basically configure your filter action and get the desired output. All right. So how did you find it? Let me know. And if you want
If you have any other dashboard which you want me to recreate it for you and help you understand the functionality, then feel free to ping it in the link. As soon as I find some time, I will try to help you build that dashboard. With that, thank you so much, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.